Uh, fuck. I have to restart on Twitch and our play too. Such is the life. Mm. Michael, okay. Michael, okay. Michael, okay. Uh-oh. Is my chat not wanting to work? Okay, we restarting. Welcome back. So please refresh your pages. Wow, that was like crazy. I did not expect did you defeat the AI? I don't know. But I wasn't expecting it to do that. But yeah, like okay, well, new thing, don't update your drivers in the middle of stream. And do clean your computer. You know what? I think I'm really going to have to clean my computer. I really think I'm going to have to. It's annoying. I'm so sorry for the double pings, y'all. And you got double pinged. I'm sorry. That's annoying. And you guys got double pinged. And oh, there goes the tracking. Well, that did not fix it. You know, I think I'm really gonna have to clean my computer. But like now I'm like afraid if I clean my computer that like what if it doesn't still fix it? It's just really weird because like I'll be streaming just fine and then I'll just lose tracking. Is it a temp issue? I don't know. It started like last week for some reason. Like I'll just be streaming, everything's fine, we're kikiing, and then it'll just drop the track in all of a sudden. It's really weird. It's really weird. It started last week and I don't know how else to fix it. Ooh. So I've tried looking things up. So like I don't know how to describe it because it's just like it loses tracking. But then I open up the app and it's like the camera's on and it's registering the camera. So it just looks, the calibration just looks really weird all of a sudden. And so I'm just like, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. And like, there's no like, and usually there's like errors and stuff like that. And so, but I don't have any errors. Oh well, if it keeps up, I'll probably just end up going into the VTube Studio Discord to help troubleshoot. They're usually very helpful. But maybe I really do need to clean my computer. It has gotten dirty. It's just that, like, I need to buy compressed air. Because that's like the only fucking thing you can use to clean your computer because it's just like, well, no, if you use anything to wipe down your computer, it could be dangerous or something like that. And I'm like, okay. And like I used to use compressed air back in the US, but I obviously didn't bring my compressed air with me because I'm like, well, that's not really the sort of thing you can bring with you on a plane, I don't think. Right? I don't think you can really bring compressed air with you. Can you? On a plane? I don't think so. And so I didn't bring any with me. It's really weird. Boys just wiped it. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to use air to blow away the dust. At least that's what they say. You can't buy that in Japan. I probably can. I just don't know where. Because in the in back of the US, I literally ordered it on Amazon. Am I gonna have to order it on Amazon here? Compressed air Japan. Okay, so that's a compressed air duster. But like, see, it's showing me like everything in like Amazon and stuff. But I'm like, I don't want Amazon. Where can I buy it like in a store? But now that I think about it, what do you call compressed air? Oh, compressed air can. Ah, this is what I'm looking for. What is it called? Air duster. Oh, that's what it's called? Store or something. Oh, is that where you find them at handyman stores? Because they got like handyman stores over here. I just like don't know where to go in person. Let's see. I see Amazon. Okay, they also got them on Yodobashi camera. Okay, that's nice. Do they have them on Daiso? Does Daiso have them? I wonder if Daiso has them. Okay, let me see. Does Daiso have them? Like, does a Hyakuen store have them? Because then I can just go to that like real easy tomorrow. And then it'll also be cheap because everything in Daiso is cheap. Okay, well that's Seria. I wouldn't be surprised if Donkey has some. Donkey could have some. Let's see. Daiso Netto Store. Okay, so Daiso. Let's see. Budo. What is this? This is a blower. Oh my gosh, it's an air blower. That's funny. That's not right. Okay, well, that's the sort of air blower that, like, well, it's possible. Donkey? I don't know if Donkey would have them. Let's see. Air duster Donkey. Air duster ga uttemashita. Oh. Well, if not, I'll just go out tomorrow and see if I can get an air duster then. That should be simpler. Though maybe I should look into getting like one of those electronic ones. Like the electronic ones. Yeah. Because guys, this is really bad. I think my computer is really dusty. Like this is kind of embarrassing, but let me see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, oh, oh my God. That is so ugly. Oh, my tracking dropped at the same time too. I literally just have to like restart my camera. It's like hilarious. Every time this happens, I'm gonna have to restart my camera. Damn. That is really ugly. I'm so sorry. This is not ASMR. This is just a Zatsudan with my ASMR settings on. I'm so sorry. Um that is terrible. That is appalling. Oh my God, that is so much fucking dust. I'm ashamed. PC clean ASMR next week. Uh you know what? I need to actually do deep cleaning because I'm going to have an apartment inspection on Monday. So tomorrow is actually deep cleaning day for me. Yeah. I'm gonna have an apartment inspection on Sunday because when you get an because they're like, oh well, since your job ended their contract with us, like they need to come and check it to make sure there's no damages and stuff, you know. And I'm like, okay, I don't think there's any damages. Though if there are any damages, like I'm gonna be responsible though. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, shit, I don't think there's any damages. But in case, but I also need to clean because it's actually fucking. I need to clean though. I haven't had anyone in my apartment since I moved in. I haven't had anyone in my apartment, so it's like, yeah, I gotta clean. I think the biggest thing I need to do is vacuum. Honestly, I need to vacuum. You need permission to hammer stuff into walls, right? You know, I always assumed that we couldn't hammer stuff into walls, but I think tomorrow I'll ask my landlady about that because I have been trying to hang picture frames and shit with like command hooks. Um and they keep fucking falling down and I'm tired. I'm really tired. I really want to nail into the wall because I keep trying to put up there's this one poster that I have, right? That I've been trying to I've been having hanging up in my apartment, but it always falls down. Like the command hooks always fall down. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. I want to hang stuff up, but I live in a fucking apartment. And so, but the hook just keeps falling because it doesn't have enough. I don't think the hook is strong enough to hold up a picture frame. Like they could hold up like wall scrolls, tapestries, because those are lighter. Um, but it's not able to like hold up like a picture frame. And I'm so pissed off because this thing keeps fucking falling randomly in the middle of the night. And I'm just like, what the hell? I'm so pissed. So I think I'm gonna ask my landlady. I'm like, can I nail into the wall, or is that like a no no? Like they're going through a messy divorce right now. Are they? You know what? You know what? They are. You know what? You know what? They are, and you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Give me 5 seconds. I'm tired of it. Everyone's illusion's gonna break like 5 seconds. 9 strips, nice and sticky. See, I did that, Pinky. I did that, and they still fucking fell. They still fucking fell. Uh oh. Why won't this item come off? How many did you use? Like a bunch. I literally taped around the whole fucking thing, and it wouldn't. Why won't this come off? Let go. This is supposed to be an item. Oh, here, I'll just do this. Remove all items from the scene. There we go. I'm annoyed. You know what? I am annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed tonight. Where's my keyboard settings? I mean, it probably is also the humidity. I live in a hot climate. yay, Southern Japan. But like at the same time, I just want to hang up stuff. I just want to hang up my fucking stuff. I just want to hang up my fucking stuff. I just want to hang up my fucking things on the wall that aren't all picture frames. It's so annoying. Ugh, I hate it. um, it's so annoying. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it because I just want to hang stuff up and I can't hang stuff up. Ooh, I'm gonna have to rename this as an ASMR Zatsudan because this is not relaxing in the slightest tonight. I'm sorry. It's just mostly me complaining about the most mundane stuff ever. Yeah, it's hot down here. And so you know what happens in the summer months when I had those command strips up? I would just be relaxing and then it like crashed down from the wall. And I had it like hanging up over like a shelf that had a lot of things on it. And I was just like, shit. Fuck. I don't know what to do anymore. But I'm like, I need to nail into the wall. I don't know what to do. Like, I know there are some people who like will nail into their apartment wall and then like when they move out they'll just like, I don't know, buy like filler or whatever to like cover it up or something. And I'm like, is that what I need to do? Because these strips are not worth it. They can't hang shit. They can't hold shit. And I'm just like, ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. Hello. Hi, welcome in. So I just want to nail something to the wall. I also saw the other day that someone had like posted this like really I also was in Daiso the other day and like they had these like magnetic wall things that I'm just like, oh my gosh, this would be perfect to use and like hang stuff from. But then I'm like, damn it, I can't nail into the wall. And I'm like, I really need to nail my wall, man. I need to be able to pause. Pause on what? Yes, I said it. I need to nail my wall. I need to be able to nail my walls, okay? 'Cause I can't. I can't do shit right now. Because everything is just gonna fall. Hmm. I'm never gonna. Everything just keeps falling from my wall, and I don't know what to do. Also, when I was also taking stuff down from my wall, I made a discovery that I had gotten duped into buying AI art. I gotta tell y'all this because I found out and I was appalled. So basically, a year or so ago, I went to a small little anime shop nearby, and they were selling like tapestries and poster frames and stuff like that, right? And so I went in and I was just like, oh my gosh, these are so cute. And so I saw one of my Yoshis and I was just like, okay, let me buy like this poster frame and I can hang it up when I go back home. So I bought it. I hung it up with command strips. It kept fucking falling. No matter how many times I hung it up, it would eventually fall. So I'm just like, whatever. I put it into the corner. Fast forward, I'm in Daiso and I was just like, okay, let me transfer it to a new frame because the old frame, because it kept falling so much, was like starting to break or whatever. So I was like, let me get a new frame for it. So I buy a new frame at Daiso, take it home, and I'm like changing it out. And then I discovered that I had been punked because I take out the poster, Mind you, this wasn't even a fucking poster. It wasn't even printed on glossy paper. It was literally printed on normal ass fucking computer paper. So I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a fucking poster. This is just like something printed out from a fucking computer and put into a frame. Mind you, I paid like $30 for it. So I was pissed off at the fact that this was like not an actual poster. And then upon closer inspection, I realized that the art was AI because I was looking closer at the art now. I think it was about 30 in like USD. But upon closer inspection, looking at the art, I realized that there were lines that didn't make sense. There were things that were blended into each other that didn't make sense. And then the eyes shading also did not make sense either. I think so. That's how much it was, I think, about, yeah. And I'm looking at myself like, wait a damn minute. This thing is fucking AI. I'm looking at everything and I'm like, wait a minute, this thing is fucking AI. Because now that I think about it, I didn't see artist credit anywhere in the fucking whole thing. And this shop was like a normal ass shop. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this sounds fucking skeevy as hell. And I was so pissed off that day because I realized that I got fucking punked. And ever since then, I walk by that shop because that shop is in a place where I walk by a lot. I walk by that shop and I curse it under my breath every time I walk by because I got duped. And I swore that I will never, ever, ever, ever go there. And if anybody ever asks me about that, I'm going to tell them, don't go there. They sell AI art. But the problem is that in Japan or whatever, is that people over here are like really happy to sue you for like defamation or whatever. And I ain't about that life. So like I would leave like a shitty review to like warn people like, hey, this thing posts AI art. But if I make a claim like that, do you reckon that they didn't know? How do you not know? I mean, the whole store is like stocked with this sort of art style though. So I'm like, if you don't know, you're like selling stuff to people. Like, I'm sorry, I can't be that nice about it. There's no way they didn't know. No, it's not just one piece. It's like they sell multiple pieces. But like now that I think about it, every time they sell these pieces, it's always like, how can I describe it? It's always like it's not official art, if that makes sense. Like it's not official goods that they're selling, right? They're like kind of like they're like non-official goods, which there are some stores that do sell non-official goods, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But at the same time, like if you over here like duping me, we're gonna have some problems, you know? You can contact and they can have their lawyers. Okay, well, here's the thing. Well, see, I'm not that vindictive because as soon as I found out it was AI art, I like tossed the darn thing. Um, Also, like as soon as I found out it was like AI art, I was just like, okay, well, I'm tossing this. Um, yeah, so I found out it was AI art. I was just like, okay, toss that, you know, and just kind of move on. This thing doesn't even appear on Google Maps for some. Wait, no wonder it doesn't appear on Google Maps. The last time Google took an updated picture of this place was back in 2018. There are stores in here that aren't even open here anymore. Google, you gotta update this. Um, I was like, why is this so old? And I'm like, wait a minute, they haven't updated this in forever. I don't know if Google's gonna update around here though because it's a small ass place. Um, I mean, I could. Could I send a CD takedown because they sell a lot of different IPs? Yes, I could. Am I that vindictive? I don't think so. No, I meant the store, not you. Oh. I mean, I don't feel like doing that, I'll admit. But I won't lie and say that it was not a good experience, which is a shame because I thought that that place was cute before, but you have no power to do that since it isn't your IP. Exactly, you know? I would have to report it to the IP police, to the person whose IP is. And I'm just like, do I really want to report this to like, who was the print of? It was of Coyote from Hololive. And I'm like, do I really want to report the cover and be like, yo, there's a place that's like selling AI art of like your VTubers? Like it's, but then I feel guilty. Problem is that this shop is not online, so I would have to like do like detective work. I would have to like go to the shop in person and take pictures because they're not on any Google. It's not on Google Maps. If it was on Google Maps and they had a website, it'd be so easy, but they're not on Google Maps. So I'd have to like go in front of the fucking place and like take a picture or whatever and then be like non creepy about it. But I mean, it is, but it's such a small store. It's legit just a random store. It's legit just a random store, yeah. I got, what's its reviews? I got a 3.7 on reviews. Hmm. It's legit just a random store. I'm not joking. It's just a random store. And so I'm just like, should I really report this random ass store? But like at the same time, I feel rage. Oh, don't mind the ambulance. It happens. The only part of the store that is like somewhat, I think, licensed is that they have gachapon machines, and I think those are official. I think, hopefully. Let the hate flow through you to like correct to like get this random place. Why do you guys want to hate so much? There also be AI generated. Dudes can just open up any store. I mean, Japan kind of. If you have enough money to, you can like open up any store. Hello. Honestly, if you have enough money to, you kind of can open up any store. But you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to let it go. I think I'll just have to let it go. But gosh, I felt so punked when I found out that was AI generated. Ugh. Ugh. I was so pissed. Ended up, trashing the whole thing and throwing it away, of course. Though I don't really have any proof anymore because I ended up trashing the thing as soon as I saw it. It was so fucking ugly. Uh, oh well. That's okay. Forget about it. I don't need to go to a secondhand store. If I want to buy Doshin, if I want to buy anything, I could always go on Mercari now. There's Mercari, Sudagaya. Those places make sure. Well, I mean, Mercari, you can definitely get like not licensed merch, but like typically I've been okay on there. But Sudagaya is also a good place. You don't have to worry about getting bootleg shit or that. It's all super cheap because it's like all secondhand, so. But maybe I should try also to go to Comic Kit this year. I think it would be fun. Mm. Any W's recently? Like my own W's? Hmm. I don't know. I mean, thanks to you guys, I was able to pay off my apartment fees. I consider that a W. I can't really think of any now that I think about it. I don't know. I'm just really waiting to transition from my old job to my new job, so. But I'm excited to start my new job. I can't wait. I'm nervous, but I am excited. I got like my uniform and stuff. Is it the same kind of job? So I'll still be teaching English, but I won't be working at a school anymore. Instead, I'll be working at a preschool. So it's like instead of a high school, it'll be a preschool. So I'm going from teaching high schoolers to teaching little, little to teaching little littles like toddlers. So I would definitely say very different. But I'm excited though. Of course, I'll miss my old job, but I'm excited to start this new chapter. But I really will miss my old job. All the teachers are so nice to me. Do you think it'll be tougher? I think it'll be tougher in like a different aspect. That makes sense. So it'll be tough, like it'll be the same amount of difficulty, but it'll just be different challenges. Like teaching toddlers and teaching high schoolers are obviously different, but I think I'll be much happy about teaching these toddlers because, well, I mean, well, this sounds kind of mean. This sounds kind of mean against those kids. And, like, don't get me wrong, they're not bad kids. It's just a nightmare to teach. I wouldn't say they're a nightmare. It's just there can be challenges because, you know, they're teenagers, so sometimes they don't shut up and pay attention. But teaching English here is always such a mixed bag because if you have a class that actually is like competent in their English level, then you could be okay. But these kids' English are so was sorry, not are. These kids' English these kids' English, wow, now my English is going to shit. But their English level is so shit. It's shit. It's terrible. One thing they always tell you when you come here is that you should try to teach in English as much as possible. That's impossible. I could not teach in English. I kept trying to give instructions in English, and they couldn't understand the instructions I was giving them in English. I had to speak in Japanese or ask the teacher to help translate because they just could not listen to directions in English. Well, no, that's the thing. They've been studying English since elementary school. But the problem is in Japan is that because the system is all about test scores or stuff like that, in reality, they're not really retaining any of their English, just memorizing enough to pass the test. And at the school that I'm at, the passing rate is actually pretty low. The rate they need to pass is actually pretty low. Like they only need like a 30% on a test to pass. So some kids definitely was just doing the bare minimum to get by. And it was just really frustrating because I'm like, all these cool ideas that I have to do classes with you guys, and I can't do them because you guys can barely form can barely form a sentence. They could barely speak it, they could barely write, they could barely spell basic English words that I would expect them to know at their level. And I was just one assistant. I'm like, I'm just one assistant. I cannot improve their English all on my own. Their English just sucks. And instead of trying, they didn't want to. Some of these kids did not want to try. They're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, fucking try first. All this, I can't. Oh my gosh. I remember I used to be a sort of negative Nancy when I was younger, and I used to say I can't all the time. And I used to frustrate the hell out of my parents. But now I understand. They were frustrated that I didn't even try first. They don't even try. That's the thing. Kids don't want to try anymore. They don't even want to try. They just say, I can't. I can't. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Ego dekinai. Ego wakaranai. Ego wakaran. Ego this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm just like, God, fuck, can you please at least try? I'm like, I'm trying my best here. Like, what am I? What, do you think I'm going to come to your class and just look pretty? The amount of times they would be surprised when I asked them to write in English. I'm like, yes, I want you to write in English. I know you're barely writing English in your normal classes. I know you're just circling words, but too bad. You're writing a sentence today. Why does it take you 50 minutes to write one sentence? Using your imagination. I can't do it, and I already gave you half the sentence. Don't get me wrong. I liked my job, but it was very, very frustrating sometimes because they just don't want to try. Why? Please try first. It's just the normal frustrations of being a teacher. And I would feel bad because sometimes a teacher would come to me afterwards and they would apologize and say, I'm sorry, these students' English is just not good. They can't do it. And, I wouldn't blame the teacher because they're just working in the restrictions of the curriculum that they have. Right? They have to get through the textbook and they have to teach this to make sure that they know it for the test. But I'm just like, their English is terrible. Terrible. And mind you, I was doing a high school level with these kids, or I tried to do high school level. I couldn't do high school level because their English is so bad that I went to do in middle school level, and they would still complain. And they were so lucky that I am not fluent in Japanese, because the amount of times I want to tell these kids, look, your English is at an elementary school level right now. You guys need to get serious. Okay, sorry. I know you're just like, you said it wasn't a nightmare. It's not. It really wasn't a nightmare. Okay, sometimes we had good days. Okay, we had good days sometimes. Because sometimes I did like a music game or whatever, and they liked that. They enjoyed it. But other times when I would have them do like a writing assignment, it was just like, oh. And I'm like, look, I just can't come in here and do games with you guys all the time, because I'm just like, you're in high school. You're not in kindergarten. I have to do games with kindergarteners because they're kindergarteners, right? We got to do songs and games with like, a 2-year-old. I'm like, you're not a 2-year-old. You're 16. We cannot do games all the time. How many hours per week? So I worked about 35 to 40 hours a week. And I would only have 2 to 3 classes a day. To be fair, that's why I say the job wasn't a nightmare, because it was a very light workload and I'm not as busy as other teachers. I actually had a lot of free time, so I would actually spend most of my time desk foreman because I had so much free time. And so I would say that the job, had a lot of free time with it. The frustrating thing just came because I just wanted these kids to at least try. That's all. And the fact that they didn't want to try was just crazy to me. It was nuts to me. I just couldn't get it. Okay, but how many hours do the students get of English per week? Oh, so the kids at my school, so typically they get probably not a lot. They have, for the general course that I mostly teach, They probably got like, I want to say maybe 2 hours of English classes. Like they would, like each class period is 50 minutes and they had English class 3 times a week. Um, a bit disheartening, yeah. And then for the intermediate course, they had to take, for the intermediate course and above, they take two types of English classes. They take English communication, which is supposed to focus on like communication, and then English expression, which is supposed to focus on like grammar and writing. But the general course only took English communication for their first and second years, and then they added on English expression in their third year, which made no sense to me because I'm like, by that time they're almost out of school. So if the English hasn't stuck by now, it's really not going to stick by adding in the other class, but okay. Um, but yeah, the general course would barely get any English. And after observing their classes, all their English classes would be taught in Japanese anyway. Like the English teachers really weren't using English, which is crazy to me. Imagine taking a course to learn any language and the teacher is not using the target language at all. It's just all in like the home language. It doesn't make any sense. You're right. It doesn't make any sense. And also, these kids aren't going to want to use English because they look at the teachers and I'm like, well, the teacher isn't using English, like the Japanese English teacher. So they're like, why should I? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I am an ALT. I am an assistant language teacher. My job description is supposed to not use any Japanese at all. I'm supposed to use English, and I'm not. I'm supposed to use only English, but that's impossible here, so I have to use Japanese. I just wish that they would tell you more about this job and be a little bit more, how do I say, realistic. Because I just remember, I can't tracking again. I just remember being at orientation and they're like, never use Japanese. Use only English. And only let the Japanese English teacher use Japanese. But you should never use Japanese. You should only ever use English. And I'm like, that's a bold-faced lie. And then I actually got to my school and I tried doing that. And these kids looked at me like I was speaking another language, but these kids looked at me genuinely like I was speaking gibberish. Because they're like, what the hell? Why is this lady coming here and she's speaking to me in all English? They're like, where's the Japanese? But you know what gets me? Thank you, motorcycle person. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for revving up your motorcycle at 10:40 p.m. at fucking night. Thank you. I really appreciate that. See, now this is getting me heated. My cortisol levels are going up. Okay, let me calm down. I'm so sorry. This was supposed to be relaxed and soft ASMR. This is supposed to be soft, relaxed, and ASMR. Now it's just turning me ranted, and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be nice and relaxing, and it's just me having tech issues and complaining. I'm so sorry. It's just me having tech issues and complaining. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna rename this to like a Zatsudan later. So I'm sorry for anyone who actually came to relax. And they just got a girl complaining 24/7. Can't help, I suppose. I didn't mean to. It's just, the tech issues and it all just started piling up. I'm sorry. The tech issues are just really annoying and it just started piling up and I was just like, wait, no, I'm pissed. But again, I made good memories at my job. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to think that this job was like hell on earth. It just, sometimes it was just frustrating. So that was just me venting a little. It's frustrating them being actual bad kids. Yeah, because like they're not bad kids. It just feels like the younger Gen Z generation in general is just these days very much don't want to try because the same challenges that I was talking about, other teachers have also talked about, like around the world. And it's just, it's just like kind of crazy, you know? Oh, we're back. I thought I missed the stream. Yes, we're back. I'm sorry. Nobody missed anything. I just updated my drivers in the middle of stream and it caused it to close OBS and so everything stopped. Oh yeah, you definitely do have bad kids. I had one kid who every time I went to that class, mind you, this is an intermediate course. Okay. So the intermediate course is a higher level than the general course because this school had different course levels, right? So the intermediate course kids are supposed to have better English, but honestly, I don't think they really did. But they're supposed to, right? Okay. So I get to this class, and because it's an intermediate course, I always explain my directions in fully English first. And then if they still misunderstand, then we go over the directions and point out the stuff, right? Because I'm like, okay, you guys are the intermediate course. And in one class, I always had a student who would complain about the English. He was like, I can't understand. I can't understand this. He said this in Japanese, of course. But he was like, I can't understand this. I can't understand. I can't understand. I'm like, you saying I can't understand, number one, I haven't even finished explaining yet. Okay. So let's take a chill pill. Let me get through the instructions first fully, and then we'll go back over the things you don't understand. Okay? Because I get it. You interrupting me and saying out loud that you don't understand is not going to help you. Also, you're not even trying to listen because you're just yelling out loud, I don't understand, I don't understand. So you're not even attempting to try to comprehend what I'm saying. So you're already not trying. That's already pissing me off from the get-go. Number one, exactly, because I'm like, you're not the only one in the class. Your other classmates are trying to listen to me and maybe they're trying to comprehend. If you don't understand anything, wait till I finish. Honestly, it got to the point where like in the second semester, even the JTE would be like, what do you mean? Even the my JTE, the Japanese English teacher, would even be annoyed because she would be like, let her get through what she's saying. And I literally told him one time, I said, you are the intermediate course and you are a second year. You should be able to understand these simple directions. I literally said that one time. I'm like, you should be able to understand these simple directions. You might laugh and Google with your friends being like, I don't understand this, but it just makes you look like a fool. That's what I don't get about these kids. I'm like, why are you bragging about not understanding? This isn't something to brag about. This is something you should probably feel ashamed for. Like, you should feel some shame that you're not at the level that you're supposed to be. Like what? Man, I still remember watching this one TikTok of this teacher who she was in class or whatever, and her class wouldn't listen. And she literally would be like, I got my degree. She said that once. She's like, I got my degree. I went to school. I finished school. I got my degree. I went to college. I'm all good on this stuff, but y'all aren't. So do they pick that level? Essentially, yes, because in order to get into that course level, you have to take the entrance exam for it and pass. So you choose what entrance exam to take. And so if you took the entrance exam for intermediate and you pass the entrance exam for intermediate, then you get into the intermediate course. So How he passed the English portion, I have no clue. Um, but I'm like, look, man, you're here. If you want to drop down to the general course, you can discuss that with your parents or whatever. But like, I'm not going to teach you at the level that I'm teaching them because you should know more. I used to literally like loathe going to that class because I would always have him. I think he was trying to be like class clown, but I'm like, I ain't laughing. I ain't laughing. I know. Well, yeah, that's sometimes what I wanted to say. I'm like, look, I graduated high school. I got my high school diploma. I've graduated already. I've done with high school. Y'all haven't. So if y'all want to keep messing around, that's okay with me. It's not my diploma. I already got it. Like, especially when they're in high school, sometimes you have to be realistic with these kids and be like, look, man, it's your grade. If you don't want to care about your grade, okay. You are free not to do that. But you can't come crying at the end of the year when you're failing and you come crying saying, I don't know what happened. I'm like, because you've been goofing off the entire time. I mean, I get it. Well, maybe I don't get it. Maybe I don't get it fully because admittedly, I was an honor student back when I was in school. I got straight A's, mostly. With some B's, of course. But I got mostly straight A's. So for me, you know, I could understand not understanding something, but I couldn't understand when people wouldn't try to understand. They wouldn't try to understand. They wouldn't try to get help or anything like that. And so I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to do here. Like when I didn't get something, I went and asked the teacher for help, or I asked for clarification. And I'm like, I can't help you if you can't help yourself. That's the thing. You can't really help people who don't want to help yourself. It differs for sure, but I tell these kids after time and time and time and time and time and time again that, you know, you can ask me. If you need help, ask me. If you have a question, ask me. That's the thing about these kids. They don't want to ask. They just sit there and stare at the paper. The paper stares back at them. And so what ends up is that I have to approach. And then I said, do you need help? And they're like, yeah, I don't know how to spell this word. And I'm like, why didn't you just ask? I literally say it every time they're about to do an assignment. If you need help, ask me or the teacher. But that's one thing I've noticed about Japanese students is that they really don't like to volunteer. I mean, kids don't like to volunteer in general, but over here in Japan, they just do not. Teachers have told me that. They're like, yeah, if we want someone to volunteer, we just usually call on their name. And I'm just like, oh, I hate doing that, though. I'm like, damn, none of y'all want to volunteer? So that's what I end up doing. And then they act surprised. And I'm like, what did you expect? I said, if nobody raises their hand, I'm going to call on someone to choose. So I don't know why you're affected. Well, see, back when I was in school, the teacher would say, if nobody raises their hand, I'm going to call on somebody. And nobody liked to be called on if they didn't volunteer. So that would make people volunteer so that they could answer the question and get it over with, and they wouldn't be called on later. Also, for me, I wanted to only answer the questions that I know. So if it's a question I knew, I would raise my hand so I can be like, good, they won't call on me again. And now I'm like set, you know what I mean? Like I'm set for like this class period, as in I won't get called on until probably way later because I answered a question already. And it was a question that I knew, you know what I mean? Because like, what if the teacher calls on me and it's a question I don't know? Well, that's the thing. I'm just like, look, man, it's school though. Where else are you supposed to ask questions if not school? I'm like, you're never going to get better if you don't try. You'll never get better if you don't try, man. I experienced that firsthand when I first came to Japan. I used to like not speak because I was afraid of making mistakes in Japanese. But my friends are like, girl, you have to try speaking because if you don't, you'll never get better. And I told them that. I'm like, if you guys don't at least try, you are never going to get better. Like, it's not going to magically come to you one day. You have to develop the skill. It's a skill that you have to develop. It is not just going to magically come to you one day. So, yeah, I'm trading it for a job with little kids. Now, I've been to this place before because, like, obviously I had to interview at the place. And amazingly, these little kids can pick up commands in English because it's like a whole like immersion thing. So they do everything in English. And I was just amazed that these kids could like understand English commands. That's how low my standards were. I'm like, wow, they're actually listening to you when you speak to them in English. Amazing. Now, of course, because these are little kids, you got to be high energy with them, right? Got to be high energy. We got to sing lots of songs. You know, I'm excited to read stories though, because I love book reading. I love reading stories. You don't really do that in high school. You don't really read stories. It is because their brains are like, they're like little sponges at that age. And so that's the perfect age to teach them a new language, is when they're at that young little age, because they'll be able to pick up and it's very easy for them because of how their brain works when they're younger versus when you're older. Yeah, I didn't have to do songs in high school, mostly because I didn't want to be the only one singing, because I'm just like, I'm not even going to try to get these kids to sing because I know very well that they aren't. But well, high school's supposed to be focused. How's your sleep lately? Oh, I've been sleeping better. I'm on like this new medication that works like really better for me. That works better for me. So I've been actually able to sleep. But you'll still probably hear me be sleepy because I don't know, that's just how I roll. Didn't they already lessen the dosage from the effect before? Well, no, I actually went to the doctor today and I'm like, the dosage is actually starting to wear off. So can we up the dosage? And she agreed to up the dosage. So I'm excited. I have to pick up the medicine on Monday, but I'm excited, man. I'm gonna be sleeping so good. I think the trick is that I also have to go to bed earlier though, because usually I go to bed like at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. on weekdays still, and I'm like, you know, it's no good. I need to go to bed earlier. Yeah. I know, it does look like I fell asleep, doesn't it? Oops. I do feel sleepy though. Excuse my sleepiness. Hmm. Yawns are contagious. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make. What the hell is this? Ew. What is that? It's a weird feature, Discord. Oh, I'm trying not to. Well, technically, I've been streaming for like almost 2 hours ish. It's just I had to restart stream. Oh, that's so annoying. I had to restart stream because, shit happened. That's so annoying though. I don't know if I'm probably not going to have this be up on our play. Probably gonna delete it off of there. Probably delete the first one and then just keep the second one. But I'm gonna have to rename it like Zatsudan or whatever. So the first half was literally me having like issues or whatever. It was literally me having tech issues, so you really didn't miss much. What's a Zatsudan? Oh, that's just a Japanese for just chatting. It's like a just chatting stream. It's pretty much just a Zatsudan. Completely abandoned the just chatting part. I've completely abandoned the ASMR part. I haven't done any triggers. Oh well, I lied. Scuff streams are fun. Are they? No, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying them. I guess so. Man, I feel so sleepy. But if I go to sleep now, I'm not going to sleep. I mean, I already go out. Don't remind me about the rate of the USD. There are so many things I want to buy from the US that I can't because it's too expensive. So I can't justify the cost because it's way too expensive for me to buy. Well, I think I'm gonna call it an end here for stream. Oh, then that makes sense, yeah. That's just whenever I'm reminded about the currency exchange, I just get sad. We used to live in a world where $1 was 100 yen. It used to be 100 yen for $1, and now it's like 160, 150. Where has it gone? Yeah, it was like that maybe like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, it does suck. Well, I think I'm actually gonna call it for today. I am tired. If I keep it up, I'm not going to be able to stop yawning. So I think I am going to have to call it here for stream today. Because I'm sleepy. No, you're fine. Let's see, running horses. I haven't actually opened I haven't actually opened Uma Musume today. I need to complete the anniversary missions. I still haven't completed them yet. But thank you guys for coming to stream today, and staying with me, even though I've been weird and awkward and stuff. So, even though today was a weird stream, thank you guys for stopping by. I don't know if I'm gonna do my usual art play stream tomorrow. I don't know. I have to actually, damn it, I'm so busy tomorrow because I have to deep clean. Like, I have to clean. If I don't clean tomorrow, it's gonna be bad. So, but regardless, thank you guys for spending time with me. I appreciate you guys a lot. So don't forget that every one of you are special. But I shall see you the next time. When do you plan on reaching the goal? I would like to reach my tip goal by the 16th of April, because that's when my phone bill is due. So April 16th is when I need to reach it, because that's when it's due. But oh yeah, I gotta advertise that again. If you know anybody that wants audio commissions, hit me up. Payment will be done through Stream Elements. Thank you, and I hope that you have a rockin' rest of your day. Stay classy, stay sweet, and I'll see you in the next... Wait, I'll see you in your dreams. Wow, I forgot my end in line. That's how sleepy I am. I shall see you in your dreams. Bye-bye.